off for the first plowing of the season, and who knows where it's gonna go. I got some new equipment to try out this time around, and yeah, let's see if we can't have a little bit of fun. So I always have fun playing in the snow. Actually, one thing that's nice about this snowstorm is it just stopped, and if you notice, it's daylight. So yeah, it stopped just roughly just right before dawn, actually. So I get to work with some daylight today, which is kind of good because I didn't get my mega off-road light on the truck yet. It's been 2 seasons that I've had that sit in the box, but we're on our way. We're off, and we're gonna go push some snow. This is awesome. And we have a beautiful winterscape as we're getting into rush hour traffic. I didn't even think about that, but we're gonna kick it off and we're gonna go through it anyways. We'll probably be out longer than rush hour traffic. Time to check out the new digs for this. It's kind of cool. We're gonna see how well it works. I brought the PB-7910. I've already been trying it out on the snow. It's been doing all right. It's not getting a lot of this ice up, but nothing's gonna get this ice up but maybe de-icer. But this particular property has a beautiful use for this because they have a very narrow gangway, and I think this is going to work a lot better than the snowblower. Client over here requested that I use a shovel to clear out the end of the driveway. So I did. I used the big shovel on the front of my truck. All right, time to check on a few things. So the first snow of the season is usually a mess because I don't get contracts back. And people are expecting, they just expecting me to show up. And so I don't want to go there and find out, hey, we booked someone else and do all this work or whatever for someone else. So I don't go there until I can confirm that, yeah, they want service this year. And it's been kind of an uphill struggle on this one because I'm starting in the area where I don't have any of the contracts in. So I might be coming back out this way. I have everybody texted. I have a customer that now wants, instead of doing a contract, do a call as needed. I'm not answering her right now. I'm trying to think and ponder if I want to do that or not. I really don't want to do that, but at the same time, I kind of give this customer a lot of leeway because she is like one of my oldest customers. When I say oldest customers, I don't mean by age. I mean by she's been with me since the beginning. She was one of my first customers ever. So she's been with me for quite a few years. And yeah, snow is where she started, and then she moved into grass too. So I'm kind of thinking, edging to, yeah, I'll just go ahead and let her do that. But you know, the only time I'm going to get calls is when there's like 12 inches of snow or something like that. Anyways, right now I'm headed out to a subdivision. So apparently this customer, it's a rental property, and his tenant is having a refrigerator delivered today. It's kind of funny because the last time it snowed, she had a refrigerator delivered, and the time before that too, she had a refrigerator delivered. This woman goes through a lot of refrigerators that rents this house. I can tell you this much: if she was my tenant, I wouldn't keep her with how many refrigerators she's going through, because she's got to be doing something to those refrigerators. Because these are just the ones that happen that she gets delivered when it snows. Yeah, I know what's up. All right, and no, I'm not rushing over there or anything because she's getting a refrigerator delivered. But this is usually a subdivision I do last. I decided I'm bumping it up today. It's during the day. What happens, I usually end up forgetting about this one. I usually end up at home and like, oh yeah, I gotta finish up these other properties over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of it today, and yeah, I'll probably do hers last on the list in the subdivision though, just because, well, out of spite. Anyways, we're headed over there right now. So, all right, let's have some fun.
And I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set the rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer. Maybe the biggest question was in the last chapter. You gave me the soul I have today. Without you I never could have moved away. But now I see what you teach. I do believe I always should have stayed. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. One day I'll be One day I'll be yours. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 do something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 do something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 do something from nothing. Life changes just open the door. One thing's certain, I'll always be yours. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you.
So we got one more left to do in this subdivision, and then we'll be moving on to the next. Guess which house it is? Oh yeah, the one that's expecting the refrigerator. I told you I was going to do that one last, just out of spite. But so yeah, so we'll go ahead and knock that one out, and then we'll just go head on to the next. All right, so that customer could not wait to get more salt out on her driveway. So I don't see any refrigerator trucks. The next door neighbors are getting new windows though. Have to do a little better with the figuring out how to use this blower with the snow. It's kind of windy out, and I'm blowing it right back at me. So I guess there's a learning curve. So the wind's dying down a little bit. That's one of the things that I've noticed is the wind. If it was high winds, I don't know if I'd be able to use the blower, because I just basically blowing it and be blowing it right back at me whenever I hit the right place. But the wind's kind of dying down. We had a little bit of wind that was really throwing it back at me, and now we don't. So that's a plus. The wind's dying down. The sun's coming out, which is also kind of good because that starts melting the snow. However, I gotta hurry up because I gotta clear snow. And if Mother Nature does that job for me, I don't get paid. So I gotta get moving. Guy walking in socks and flip-flops the day after it snowed. Well, it's actually the next day. I got caught up with having to put some fires out, a fire out, I should say. I go through this with this customer every freaking season. Anyways, and it boils down to the fact that she's got to spend more money if she wants what she wants. You really want to know though, PB-9010. Not PB-9010, the PB-7910. So close in numbers. So the PB-7910 is different than the PB-9010. The PB-9010 is the big workhorse, former most powerful backpack blower in the world. The 7910 they just came out with back in the spring, and that one is same engine, but it's a little bit smaller of a blower housing, so it's a little bit less powerful of a blower. And that's the one I got, and that's the one I was using on the snow. I was actually really kind of impressed with how well it worked. I understand now why these guys like their leaf blowers for cleaning up snow. It is going to take a particular kind of snow, and I was really kind of surprised that it did as good of a job as it did because of this snow. Even though it was only about 2 inches, it started with like rain, so everything underneath was like really frozen over, and then it turned into sleet. So it was again big chunks of ice basically, and then it turned into the light, nice white powdery stuff, and it took pretty much everything off. I mean, it had a little bit of trouble with that first really thin layer of ice in places, but it pretty much did everything. And this isn't even as powerful as some of the other blowers out there. Now, I will tell you though, after using the EBZ-9000 and the PB-9010 and having to maneuver that thing in and out of the back of my truck, I would probably go with, I actually prefer the 7910, but I probably would go with the 9010, the PB-9010, as opposed to the EBZ-9000, because I had to pull it over the side rail with the way I have my setup. I'm not able just to drop the gate down and pull it out because I want to have that gate down pull out for my snowblower, and it's set up to do that. So it was coming over the side rail. So in order to pick that thing up over the side rail and not scratch the living tar out of my truck, I need something that's going to be that isn't huge, that's going to be a little bit more manageable as far as a blower is concerned. So that's why I would sit there and say that probably the PB-9010 would probably be the best bet for that over the EBZ-9000, just because of the physical size of it. Now, there was another product that I was wearing that I didn't tell you about, that I'm going to tell you about now. So I was wearing the Kujo winter pants. These are a new product by Kujo this year. I picked them up over at Equip, purchased them myself, and was wearing those yesterday, and I like them. I actually like them a lot. They're really lightweight. They're not really stiff like a lot of other winter type materials that you deal with. are, and I really enjoyed wearing those pants. They were warm. They kept me warm throughout. Now keep in mind the temperatures were around 30, like high 20s, low 30s all day long. Now if I was dealing with like temperatures like I'm dealing with now, I think it's like 9 degrees outside, probably what I would do, I still would wear those, but like yesterday I didn't have on long johns. I would probably put long johns on if temperatures were a lot colder. Now, as far as, you know, if I have to just wearing them around, going running errands or whatever, I probably don't even need the long johns. You know, it'll keep me warm even in those cold temperatures to get to my car, to get to into the grocery store, back to my car, back into my house, that kind of thing, if I'm not spending a lot of time outside. But if you're working outside and you're spending a long extended period of times, when those temperatures drop, I would sit there and say you might want to throw on an extra pair of long johns, not extra pair, but a pair of long johns to put on underneath those pants to help keep you a little bit warmer. The only complaint that I have, and there's nothing about this, it's just the nature of the beast, is the only place that I had moisture come up underneath was from where, you know, the bottom of the pants, where you got a big opening and you're traipsing through the snow. There's not really much you can do about that. It's just the nature of the work and the nature of the beast. Otherwise, everything else stayed really dry underneath. The snow, everything just kind of rolled off the pants. I did have some water spots on the outside of the pants, but they didn't soak through into the material. One of the things I probably would change, well, I wouldn't change this. I would love those pants. I definitely wouldn't change a thing about them other than the color. I don't like the color, and that was the only one they had available. They got 2 colors. I had the khaki color, which I think they call sand or something. It does show up the dirt and stuff really quickly. I probably wouldn't go with that color again. But the one thing that I would like to see Kujo do with those winter pants is change out the liner in them. Either if it requires a liner, to put like a thinner liner in there, or if it doesn't even require a liner, they don't even really need a liner if the seams and everything are still comfortable without a liner, and just sell those pants so you have something for shoulder seasons. Because the yard pants are really summer weather, warm weather pants. You know, you're not going to wear those things in the shoulder seasons, and that's really kind of what they need to fill in. And I think with those pants, that's all you need to do is take out the fleece liner, and they would probably be perfect for that spring and fall season. So that would be the one thing I would do, but it wouldn't necessarily be a change to those pants. It would be a whole new type of pants. And you know, because I did wear those things in the fall in like 50-degree temperatures, watching my son play soccer, and I was sweating in them. So they are very warm pants, and I was really thoroughly impressed with them. On that note, well, I guess that concludes the first plowing of the season, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.